Hey there, everybody. I'm CCB Dolan here with CCB Fozzie and our wonderful live audience and CCBK1, bringing you as potentially the last match of the day, or the last match of the entirety of the NEO2. This match, if Warlords of the Deep wins it, they go home with first place prize, $12,000 for a 12-man team. That's $1,000 a pilot.
I mean, that's a pretty great take-home, plus a whole bunch of plex as well.
Of course. So what have we seen here from both teams?
So Thingy has attempted to dodge the bans from Warlords of the Deep. Warlords banned out the Curse, which was a key part of the setup that Thingy just brought last match, but they just swapped out the Curse for an Ashimu and then moved to Hounds for their Bombers. So now we've got two Eoses and a Neros and Ashimu and Ishkur and triple Hounds. Warlords, in their hand, has brought a setup that we actually saw from them yesterday. Double Sleipnir, Scimitar, double carries, triple Saber. Thingy downgrading, I really think, to the Ashimu. This is not as good of a ship for this setup as the Curse.
Yeah, exactly. And why do you think they've gone with Hounds instead of the other armor stealth bombers?
I mean, it's a really good question. They may want more speed to be able to, and lower sig to be able to evade sentries. It's quite possible.
And we're going to see here these damps coming up from all these carries, and there's also going to likely be damps on these Sabers as well. And they flock so fast. Like, right now, the advantage the Thingy has is that Warlords of the Deep has to get close to really do their damage.
Yep.
But those Sabers will destroy Hounds, and they don't really have a good way outside of those Eoses to deal with them. If there's a Smart Bomb in the Warlords of the Deep team, these Eoses are in a lot of trouble.
The entire Thingy team is basically holding very, very cautiously. They're staying together. They're not spreading out too much. They're trying to draw the Sabers in close to the Eos and the Ashimu. I think that's going to be their game plan. If that Ashimu gets its 90% webs and its newts on top of one of the Sabers, then it'll die very quickly. So they're making the Sabers come that close.
Where did all the damps go there? They just pulled off all their damps. I guess they're reassigning them potentially onto the more... Now that the Sabers are close...
We do see a bomb in the air. There is at least one bomb in the air from the Thingy team here, and it's going to blow up a bunch of drones. Or actually, nope. It looks like the drones avoided it completely, but it was able to actually not do a whole lot.
Well, the Hounds are under fire here. They're already catching reps from the Oneros. We're gonna have to see if the armor tanks on these Hounds. Nope, there's one down.
Wow, already one down.
If the rest of the Hounds go down, this is gonna be a huge problem for Thingy here. But they do have a tackle on the Sleipnir. They have a tackle, or they're already reps on this other Sleipnir. No damp pressure at all on the Scimitar.
They're not applying very much damage to these teams, though. They need to kill these Sabers in order to keep the Hounds alive.
Yeah,
that's the key thing. The Sabers are what's going to be killing the Hounds before they can get
and
wrapped.
The Saber of Kadesh Princess is webbed. It's almost certainly the Ashimu's 90% webs.
Yep.
They're just not doing any damage to them. They need to be firing right now.
I mean, it's going only 23 meters a second. So if they're going to kill it, this is the time to do it. This is going to be the real test of whether they can apply damage to a small target like this.
Here's coming in the damage. It may have taken time for the drones to get there. There's no pressure on the Scimitar, so they're going to have to kill it through Scimitar reps. But as we say that, another Hound going down. Oh, wow, this is not great for Thingy. They need to claw this back if they want to make this a longer series. But, man, it looks like the Hounds are just getting torn apart. The Sabers are now overwhelming this bomber wing.
So right now we're seeing split damage. There was damage applied to Count Monte Carlo, Sleipnir, quite a bit of it, in fact, and also damage applied to Kadesh Priestess in the Saber.
The last Hound going down.
I don't really know why. All right, the Kadesh Priestess' Saber did go all the way through armor there. It is probably going to die, but it's too little too late. The reason you wanted to kill the Sabers was to keep the Hounds alive.
Exactly.
And
wow.
At this point, there is no, the Hounds are gone.
Well, even then, the Sabers are providing a significant amount of autocannon DPS to this team here.
They are indeed, but...
And the Oneros is caught for Thingy. This is just like a series of bad things happening.
Yep, so the Warlords, Sleipnir and Count Monte Carlo is still getting pounded. It's taking a lot of damage, but at the moment it's repping it up just fine. It does have an ASB as well as the repping from the Scimitar on it. It's possible that once it goes into reload, they might be able to knock it down, but honestly, I don't actually think it's likely.
The big problem here is that Thingy has no ability to counter those damps. They're not bringing counter damps on any of their ships. They could have gone with, say, like a Nemesis or something like that, and actually have some fast-locking damps on those Hounds. But they've just chosen to be at the complete whim of these carries.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they need to rely on the Ashimu with its newts to maybe newt off the Hardeners and the Sleipnir, but there's just too much damage being applied. The Aneros is going to go down slowly. Their Aneros dropping slowly through armor as he takes damage from mainly the Sabers. But they will be enough. Sabers, what are really, really powerful tournament ships, they're hard to keep alive, but they're fast and they do a lot of damage to small targets and actually the larger targets as well. A group of Sabers like this can break off and actually harass a logistics ship. They can go into the back line and take down carries and molluses, bombers. They're really, really powerful tournament ships for their versatility of killing the small utility.
Just as Count Monte Carlo goes on reload, we're about to lose the Oneros for Thingy here. Draenor going down is going to spell pretty much disaster for the Thingy team and no way to come back.
Yeah, look, Count Monte Carlo dropped into very, very low shields, but is now actually pulling all the way back up. It looks like he's going to be boosting again, and yeah, it's just not quite enough. We've been seeing from Thingy a really, really overall very impressive performance. They've been able to surprise a lot of people with how strong they've been, but it looks like they basically learned a lot of the tricks of the trade from the Hydra members of Warlords of the Deep, and the Master is really taking them to school right now.
The Hounds are such a precision weapon. The Stealth Bombers in general are a precision weapon. And you say, I really don't want to deal with battleships. I want to be able to deal with them at long range. But they have so many weaknesses. They're so easy to kill if you get on top of them. They're so easy to damp out because they're just so, they rely on their range to stay safe. Sorry. And with that, the Ashimu now under fire, as well as the EOS here. Wow, what a performance from Warlords of the Deep. I think that they've shown a commanding lead in every match throughout the entire tournament, only dropping a single match the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, and that one match was to Thingy, a team that they had worked very closely with all the way along the way. Warlords, obviously one of our most consistently strong tournament teams. They're a team in a lot of ways. I referred to them as the Miami Heat of tournaments a while back, that a lot of people will even move to try to have a better chance of winning tournaments. We saw that from someone who's actually not, I think, on this swing, but Apathetic Brent, our former commentator. They're a team that I think is very well recognized as a super strong tournament powerhouse.
Do you know what's Apathetic Brent will be very happy about?
Seeing his team win instead of
his $1,000.
Yes, I think he'll be pretty happy with that as well. Yeah.
So wow, I wish we had a big check, but because none of the people from Warlords of the Deep are actually here, unless we've been severely tricked by our live audience, and someone has a laptop.
They're actually just all playing on laptops. The entire team is right now.
That would be next level performance from Warlords of the Deep. They just stand at the end like, yay, we won.
But that is just now the Ashimu left.
Joel and I am trying to watch the match.
Both of the EOSs are down, and it's just a matter of time that Ashimu is completely caught and will be dropping very soon. And with that, Warlords of the Deep will become our second New Eden Open champions.
Yep. And does this make them the winningest team in tournament history? They're tied.
No, it's still, because they'd be tied with... No, they're still behind in wins, but we'll talk about that maybe
That's going to be the match. We're going to see you back in the studio. Warlords of the Deep taking a strong, commanding victory in this finals match of the New Eden Open 2. Let's get a round of applause for Warlords of the Deep. And we'll see you back in the studio.
Congratulations to Warlords of the Deep.
Yes. We'll see you back in the studio in just a couple seconds.